Formula 1 returns to Italy for round 14 of the 2019 season, the Italian Grand Prix here at the Monza circuit. On this track where the teams will run their lowest downforce settings of the season, it's all about maximising the top speed, as this circuit is a challenge for the most powerful and reliable engines, as top speed is absolutely critical at achieving a lap time around this circuit. And that's why Haas come into this race knowing that realistically this is their last chance at scoring points in the season. However, though, they do seem to be struggling a little bit in terms of the straight line speed, as the BMW engine doesn't seem to be quite as fast and have the power advantage that they have in the previous years. Gasly was still riding the high after his excellent finish at last race out at Belgium, and with the Honda upgrade proving to have some good straight line speed for both Toro Rosso and Red Bull cars, he's hopefully he can score points at the home event for Toro Rosso. Red Bull though didn't share the same optimism, albeit they do have the same specification of Honda engine. There's still a little bit too much drag on the car, with Ingenuity's designs being about maximising downforce. The team aren't expecting anything too special from either drivers this weekend. Neither though are Williams, who look to be in a dire situation, with neither cars anywhere near the top 10 in terms of lap time or throughout the speed trap. The BMW engine is really lacking straight line speed, despite the team running almost as minimal wings as what Renault are. Alfa Romeo also come running some minimal wings of their own, which once again means a difficult setup for Josh Joe to get used to, and will lose the rear through the second chicane and would back the car into the wall, but thankfully they would escape without any major damage. And Renault coming to this race also continuing to use their low drag 0-0 wings from the last race, and are hopeful of repeating their podium success and maybe even taking a double podium or a race win, should things go their way in the race. Hey guys, Renault here. We're back now for the Italian Grand Prix, and it's quite windy, judging by this flag anyway. So this race, it's got a lot of good memories for me. I've got a lot of good form around here as well. It's where I made my debut back in 2014 in the Marussia, and came 7th or 8th on the race to score the team's first ever points. So, and then I won this race in 2015. So yeah, I've got some good form around this track, and Kobayashi, he's a driver that needs some form, starting from P8, so should be, his teammate Hamilton there taking the pole position, so still being outshone by Hamilton. There's Kvyat there completing the front row. We've got George Russell in third and ourselves in fourth, so we managed to get the car to stay on the track and get to grips with it. We have John Ver with a good lap start from 5th place, ahead of his former teammate from Ferrari, Sebastian Vettel. And then the other Ferrari of Charles Leclerc in 7th, ahead of Kobayashi. Max Verstappen starts from P9 as the lead Red Bull, with Hülkenberg riding off the top 10. With Albon struggling, so Verstappen really Red Bull expecting to struggle at this race, but he does get a free choice of tyres though. Our teammate Gio starting from inside the points places in 12th. Gasly starts from 13th, ahead of the lead of the McLarens of Rio Haryantos. The McLaren's looking to struggle a little bit, ahead then of Colin Hurta, who's the only driver trying a different strategy to start with, so let's see how he did throughout the race. And then the two Williams of Kubica and Schumacher, both Williams out in Q1. They are so slow in a straight line. BMW haven't brought any upgrades throughout this season, so it's starting to start a little bit of speculation if they're going to continue in the sport or not. Then you've got Stroll, Norris and Kari completing the grid, so yeah, there's definitely a bit of tension going on in the BMW and Williams camps. Now looking onto us, starting from P4. So where we started back at Germany, we had some pretty good pace there, and I've started P3 on my debut race here for Williams in 2015. So I thought besides when I was in the Marussia, I've always started well around this track. So, and I always like cars which have good straight line speed over cornering performance. Coming to the far red lights for the start of the Italian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. It's a great start from the front. We get a little bit bogged down on the day side of the track. Hamilton though clearing to stone one now, being sandwiched now by the two Ferraris, going down now. Let's run down into stone one. We're going to take it nice and easy, go for the inside line. Hopefully we don't get hit by anyone from behind. It looks like that everything's getting away. Okay, we're going side by side with the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. Then we've got the racing line, who's going to hold it past the Dutchman there. You've got Kobayashi there, going side by side with one of the Williams cars. They've had a blinding start there. I think that's Mick Schumacher. So I can't quite tell from this camera which of those two Williams it is, but either way, it's been the blinding stuff then from 16th, 17th place. I think it is the Williams of Kubica, so here's the thing about overtaking. Back in 2006, in only his 3rd race, he scored a podium for BMW Sauber, so he definitely knows how to get a car around this track pretty quickly, which could be quicker than what his Williams car itself is getting around this track quicker. And for us, we're down now into 7th place. So not the best start of the world for us. We've only been overtaken by cars really that we're fighting against anyway. Now we've got Verstappen there, we're getting his lithium, so it looks like the Red Bull looking a bit better possibly in the race pace than it was in qualifying. I mean, usually Red Bulls do better in qualifying than they do in the race, but around a track like this, I'm really going to have to rely on focusing more on race pace because I know they're not going to be anywhere over one lap. Verstappen, you can see that we still got the good speed. Actually, Verstappen actually backs out of an attempted move, just showing really the speed difference between the Ferrari engine when it's working and the Red Bull engine, the Honda engine in the back of that Red Bull. Now once again Verstappen with slipstream, he's not actually gaining anything on us. Now you've got a bit of fighting going on up front. You've got Sebastian Vettel looking to make a move on the inside line of Jean-Eric Vergne with the championship rivals from 2017, with Vergne coming out as the champion of the 2017 season. But now there's still Vettel here with the upper hand. It looks like that Renault's going to be mighty to the straight line speed, and around this track you really don't need any wing on the car. Everyone else can be running one wing, so they've got a little bit, but that's about it really. But Vettel though, with the natural Ferrari engine, the Ferrari power, is better than the Renault, even with their stupidly low drag. We've seen them not as high as what they were last time, so it looks like they definitely are struggling a little bit more for balance around this circuit, but still going for the speed is key mentality. It's really the tracks where they've got to take advantage, because the Renault engine, it's definitely improved as the years have gone on, but still not up here yet, with definitely not with the Ferrari engine at least anyway. You've got Charles Leclerc all over the back of the 2017 Drivers' Champion coming up into his car. He's not placed there to make a move. Was the Ferrari going to do well in their home Grand Prix? Of course, Leclerc's first time here in the Ferrari. It's his first time at every race in the Ferrari since it's his first season at the Scuderia. And we've got Verstappen all over us once again. So the better aerodynamics of that Red Bull coming into a Ascari, but now we're into Parabolica, trying to hold around that outside line. Verstappen backs out of it once again. So Verstappen really not feeling that Red Bull so far in this race, it seems. We're all the way around that side of Parabolica, use all the track we have available to us. Now they're going to be getting right in the situation. Now we've got Mick Schumacher in the BMW Williams, which isn't the fastest thing in a straight line either, but he's getting a double toe though, so it looks like you've got the engine possibly turned up to the max to try and make a move on Max Verstappen. They're going to make a dive on the inside line. Verstappen can try it around the outside, then turns to the inside here from turn 2, but it should be there with the racing line. And keep it side by side, and the Williams there makes an easy move. So Verstappen got some kind of car issue, maybe because he's definitely. This is not characteristic of Verstappen. He's usually the puncher while making the move, but now he just succumbed to a BMW Williams in a straight line, which usually is nothing new. But around this track, it seems there's definitely a massive lack of power in both of those Beamer engines, especially in the Haas as well, since the Haas is, well, can't hurt, at least out-qualified the Williams. They've got Leclerc going for a diving move through Lesmo 2. All this time there, Jean-Eric Vergne catch the Frenchman napping, so we'll see, a bit uncharacteristic there from Vergne. He's going a little bit backwards at the start as well, so maybe I think the setup of that Renault definitely working better in qualifying than in terms of race pace. Now then, on to lap 5, we're still in 7th place. Got a little bit of a gap though of Robert Kubica, so it is the pole who then made the move, not Mick Schumacher. I'm still getting a bit confused over which one's which. You can't really tell from the off-board cameras. But we're really in a bit of a no man's land of our own, really, in between them. Coming down to a Sky, actually got a bit of side by side there up in front. And now you've got Russell now as the car in front of us, so the brake dropping back from his P3 starting position, so maybe he's got some kind of issues, or maybe he's saving a little bit of fuel at this early stage. Because I always start with my plus 3 laps of fuel, and this track being such high speed as well, so there's not really many braking events, so maybe he can save up a little bit of fuel. Anyway, Vergne still keeps himself ahead then of George Russell in that Mercedes. And now then, here we all have the back there of the Merc, trying to make all side by side with it now. Use our superior straight line speed, trying to run that down into the first corner. Side by side now into turn 1. We've got the outside line, got the racing line for the outside turn 1, and then into turn 2. Still Russell. This time we managed to force out our fellow Brit, so maybe the F2 champion, but we're a Formula 1 world champion, so showing the experience we still got over the Brit. Although, to be fair, he's still doing a brilliant job in that car. We've got Hulk and Kirby actually going at it now further back. These two have had their fair share of battles this season, especially back to Austria, where they won't leave each other alone for basically half the entire race, really. And then through the second chicane, it's Hulkenberg that comes out top on that battle. And then Kirby actually gets a pour out of the corner that could give the Red Bull there the opportunity to try and make a move. I think it must be Verstappen, because I think he's still the lead of the Red Bull cars, even if he's not quite up to pace at the minute. We're up into P6, so now we can try and chase down our championship rival from 2015, because although Vergne won the title, we were still mathematically in the fight in the final race. We were a few points behind him, but we still could have done it, but then our car let us down in the final race. But Vergne He won the race anyway, so it didn't really matter where he finished because the Frenchman was going to take the title anyway. Still gaining insulation on the back of that Renault car. We got Russell behind us, falling away a little bit, but still keeping insulation because the Mercedes and AMG focused on over the weak brake after the British Grand Prix was engine power, so they're definitely focusing more on the power department and probably a little bit less on the aero, since the regulations were changing for 21 anyway. So they're not going to dive too much into that department. Can only turn one, we're not closer to make a move on Verne. Good defensive brace very early. They're trying to hold it around the outside line. They're pitching to the apex and then they're going to force him out wide. We did on Russell. And we've just made a diving move around the outside line of the 2017 Drivers' World Champion. We just literally the stamp and send it completely right around the outside line. Basically, the complete opposite of the real life Daniel Ricciardo move. He goes up the inside, I go around the outside. And he brakes early. I just took my normal braking point, and I don't know, maybe he's got some kind of braking issue, maybe. That I don't really know why he braked so early. I mean, I get he was on the inside line, but he still shouldn't have braked that early. But now then, on to lap 10. We're still in P5. We've got side-by-side in front of us now between Daniel Kvyat in the lead of the Mercs, who currently has the fastest lap of the race. He's doing battle there with Charles Leclerc, trying to make a move past the Russian into the second chicane. Leclerc's going to try to go around the outside line. He's going to force out Kvyat, and Kvyat gets slowed there off the corner. Then he gets good momentum. We're going to sneak away on the inside line of the Russian, going now into the left. He's going to squeeze us all the way inside. We just force away though past Danny Kvyat, and we're up now into P4. So we're back where we started the Grand Prix. Our straight line speed now we've got to grips with the car in the race conditions. Now the tyres come up to temperature and that. Our straight line speed really coming into clutch right now. I think in terms of pure straight line, we must be the fastest car on this track. Now then into Ascari though, we're not close to trying to make a move on Charles Leclerc. Can we dethrone the Ferrari? We've got the same engine as them. We're a Ferrari customer team, although there's 3 Italian teams on the grid, so this is all about pride, honestly. I mean, I've already got my 1 win for the season, so I keep that streak going, but I wouldn't mind another win here on the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. One of my favourite tracks on the calendar, probably second actually, after Brazil, and Singapore being probably third. That's my best track in terms of race performance. It's not one of my favourite tracks overall. I think I'm going to be boxing out at the end of this lap. Might do the opposite to Leclerc, if we don't get past him, that is, because we are definitely fast to straight line speeding through the corners, because apart from Ascari really, they're all slow speed corners, so even a car like us with lesser aero, actually the high speed tracks like this and Spa in a way, are pretty much pace nullifies, because the lower down cars always have lesser drag. So they're going to be faster anyway, even when they run their lower drag setups at Monza, so yeah, the straight line speed of those cars really does come into play. And I go fastest green anyway, so personal best through the first sector. We're still finding 11 laps into the race, still finding time on these tyres, but of course these are tyres that we qualified on because we started inside the top 10. And now then, DRS on the back of Charlie Leclerc. We're coming on the run down into Ascari. We're definitely not close enough here to make a move. Going up into the corner. And yeah, we're definitely not close enough to try and make a move on the Monegasque driver. Well, we get a nice run though through Ascari. And now try and put the power down once again. It's Ferrari power. ERS all the way to high. Still trying to make this move before we come into the pit lane. Got some great speed on the Ferrari. Going out into Pablo. Going to go for a dive on the inside line. Leclerc brakes early. Let's just go up the inside line. We must have been told that we're coming into the pit, so there's no point finding us, no point losing time to us. And now then coming into the pit lane, and Leclerc stays out anyway. So yeah, it definitely wasn't worth him fighting us, just costing himself time. And now it's going to be a pit lane battle now with a Ferrari, ourselves and the Merc for Danny Kvyat. I think that ended up the lane over the Toyota and Hamilton came in on this lap as well then. It's going to be set of the medium tyres, and these tyres are going to take us to the end of the Grand Prix. Where's Vettel? Why is he not in front of me? Has he had a mare pissed off or something? I don't know what's happened there. We're going to rejoin back out now, and he's behind Russell. Kvyat even. He's behind the Mercedes. Did he have a front wing change? 5-second penalty? My team never told me he's got a penalty, so I think he's just had the absolute worst pit stop from Ferrari at the home Grand Prix. So for once, when Ferrari don't mess it up on the strategy, they mess it up in the pit lane. I mean, it's nothing. No, Ferrari have to do something to mess up their chances. Then we got the lead of the cars which haven't stopped yet. And here we got actually now looking at Colin Herder all over the back here of one of the McLarens of Lando Norris, I think. I can't quite see from the number which one it was. This is going to be the time where where the American needs to push, because this is where he's going to have the fresher tyres over those around him. But now we've got Norris trying to make a move here on one of the Williams cars and Mick Schumacher, I imagine this is, coming out into a Ascari, but the Schumi no managed to get up in front. Now we've got Herr on the inside line here of the McLaren looking at the south side. Norris and Herr, of course, two of the rookies on the grid for this season. And a nice move there from the American. And now then looking back up front towards the teammates of the drivers that haven't stopped yet. So Charles Leclerc now comes in on this lap. Is he going to get a better pit stop than what his teammate did? Yes, he does. That is a much better pit stop there from the team in red. And let's make the way now down the pit lane. It's probably going to come out behind us again. I wouldn't be too surprised about that. And then it depends if he did come out, and there we go. So the undercut is definitely a way to go around this circuit, unless you've got a massive tyre advantage, which is going to be probably going to a set of soft tyres now later in the race. And we got Sebastian Vettel re-overtaking the Ferrari, the Merc even, of Danny Kvyat, and then we got Russell who comes out just outside with Max Verstappen. He's going to drive around the outside line into the first corner. It's a brilliant move there from Verstappen, makes a double overtake, gets past Verne, and that's more like it from Verstappen, so he's finally woken up now, finally got to grips with the car. Now then it could be even worse now for Verne. He's going to try and lose possibly even another place here to Kamui Kobayashi, and that Toyota is so fast in a straight line, and he just breezed past the Renault like it wasn't even there. Even with Renault running this ridiculously low drag setup, it's really not working for them. And then you've got Albon and Haryanto going at it now, because Haryanto's been here for quite a while. He's got a few podiums under his belt. And now she'll try and make it through here. Now we've got Holt looking very interested behind the back of Albon, because Holt and Albon going to be an interesting fight there, because Holt possibly might be going to Red Bull for next season if Albon's got the rest of the season to prove himself as to why he should keep that seat at Red Bull. Looks like a pretty slick start there from the Haas crew, which it is, and he's gone into hard tyres. I don't really see the reasoning to that, because there's a few laps further on after our stopped, obviously, so it's about lap 15, 16, so he should have could have done the flip of what we have and gone to a set of soft sides. He has some blinding pace now. You've seen Haas do it back at Russia, where they started on the hard side and went to the soft ones later on. Didn't quite get it in the points finish, but wasn't far off, so I don't see why they didn't do that. But either way, now we've got Lance Stroll right up behind the back now of his teammates, so this is going to be a bit of a personal battle here between these two. Caden gaining on the back of the American car, is the teammate, and Bahia goes defensive. Stroll thinks better of it, because these two, they know how crucial this race is for possibly scoring points, so they're not going to take each other out, not going to do something stupid like that. But Stroll goes for a dive on the inside line into the Lesmos here, side by side, and I think got caught a bit unawares by that. Stroll was diving all over the place, but still has going to try and stick it around the outside line, but into the next corner. Has to admit defeat there to his more experienced teammate. He didn't have the best time of here in 2016. Getting involved with the crash with the Haas car of Alex Rossi, so yeah, definitely not going to want to cause a crash with the Haasies this time. And things enough trying to be honest to me for now, at least for a little bit anyway. Moving a bit further on, looking a bit further up front from that fight, we've got the Hulk Albon fight still going on. As you know, there's sort of smoke there coming out of the back of the car. No! Alex Albon, there's smoke pouring out of the back of his car. Surely that's it for the tyre driver. That's his race. Done and dusted, that is. And that's his second retirement in a row. He retired back at Belgium, and that's the third Honda engine to go bang in a row, because back at Germany, the race before that, it was Verstappen's engine that went out. So Honda, they're definitely finding improvements with their speed, but the reliability, that's got what they've got to work on for next season. Now on to lap 18. As you can see, we currently now have the fastest lap. So we've got some blinding pace, and we've been reading in Lewis Hamilton. We still look like behind us in third. But then we've got DRS though on the back of the 2008 champion, one of the other fellow Brits on the grid, called Lando Norris as well. And going on now into Ascari, going to look to the inside line with no closer to make a move on Hamilton. And I dare say it, we could be sniffing down our second win of the season. In the 6th best car in terms of the points table. But honestly, the McLaren is a better car than us. It just can't really qualify that well. So we're in the 7th best car, and we could be staring down a second win, and the first win on a legitimate basis, because we're up here, there's no lucky rain this time helping us out. Into Rich Mix. There's the DRS open now, coming up and getting on the back of Lewis Hamilton. And we're going to pull to the inside line, let's move for the lead of the race. We're going to push up to the grass there by Hamilton. We're going into the braking zone, going to try and break. No, got a bit late though, we've missed the corner, we've got to go through the bollards here. Because we've got grass on tyres, we just couldn't get the car stopped, and I can't even get turned in to go through the bollards, so I actually just go through them. Now Hamilton, I get back into the lead of the race.
Stay focused, you can catch to the back of him. So just keep calm and we shall get him.
That's exactly the encouragement I need from my engineer. He knows there's a problem with Hamilton's car. I mean, he was so slow on the straight, so maybe he's saving fuel. Maybe maybe him and Toyota underestimated how much fuel they would need. Because I'm still, there's 6 laps to go. I've still got plus 1.8 laps. I'm usually about 0.5 of a lap over now by this point. So I've definitely got a lot of rich space. I'm going to put the engine up now into that rich mix. Use that good fuel that we've got in the back of this, going through this Ferrari engine. Going out into Sky once again, not close enough to make a move on Lewis Hamilton. I can smell blood here. That Toyota is definitely a wounded car if he's not fuel saving. He still gets a good run out of the corners. His trial speed actually seems pretty good. I think Hamilton must be fuel saving. Toyota must have made a mistake there and underfueled him significantly. Especially since he's saving with this many laps to go. He must be massively underfueled. And then they go down the start straight once again. You see he gets a good run off the corner, so there is definitely not a lack of speed in that car. And he's still trying to keep out of the solution there a little bit, trying to get some cooler air into this engine. And coming down into turn 1. Going to go for a dive on this. How are we going to think about making the move? I mean, think better of it, because we've got a lot of time yet. We know Hamilton. He's having to go slow for now, but we can't afford to stick behind him, because this could be the lap, it could be the final lap he needs to save fuel. He could be saving to try and push and keep this lead now, because we know that Toyota got some good straight line speed, so he can kind of like use that straight line speed to his advantage in a way. Into the second chicane, still gaining quite a bit there on the back of the Toyota. We get a great one there through the second chicane, almost getting out onto the gravel. Yeah, definitely where I spun in qualify in practice. And now then through the first last mode, you get okay with there. The Toyota's still getting better through the corners, because even with having to fuel save, he's still getting a better run with out of the second last mode. You get very close into the back of that Toyota car. Now we're all over the back here. On Hamilton is pretty much making that car as wide as possible. Now we're going to go for a dive inside and get a bit of wheel banging as well. Almost 200 mile an hour wheel banging there with Lewis Hamilton and making a move on this side. We're taking the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. 7 laps to go. Now Hamilton, though, we know Hamilton. He's not going to let this go without a fight. Although we did fluster him a little bit there through his car, so he managed to pull away a little bit. Look at that, he's gaining straight line speed. He's turned that engine up now. He was definitely a fuel saving. Now then into Parabolica. There's nothing through here that Hamilton's going to be able to do to try and make a move to re-overtake us. And we get a good run there through Parabolica. So maybe he's got some kind of car damage. Maybe he's missing some bargeboard elements or something. Hamilton, he seems sticking out our slipstream. So, but now he's getting a little bit now. Pulls back into it now. So maybe he has actually got some kind of car issue, because the straight line speed of the car is there, but maybe got some kind of overheating issues. Maybe actually, there's something seems to be something's definitely wrong there with the car. I can definitely confirm that. Now then, through Curva Grande, still got Hamilton. He's not getting at all. There he's a little bit now the straight line speed, getting towards the end of the straight. He's still got all gears available to him. But I don't really know what's going on with his car, honestly. It all seems to be working fine. Well, he's working enough. Well, we're definitely pulling away, so something's ailing on that car, and I think it's something to do with the engine. Maybe the gearbox, maybe the gear, maybe the gearbox is a bit worn out. So maybe short shift a few gears. And then a bit further on, we now got Charles Leclerc, who's caught up to the back now then of Lewis Hamilton. This is the fight for second place, so Charles Leclerc. He's had a great race, get up from 7th on the grid to possibly starting down second place. So good pull side by side now with Lewis Hamilton, and he's going to breeze past the Toyota, breeze past the fastest car in the straight line. That's not something you do on a daily basis. You seem to get past me there, so I think Hamilton is struggling with some kind of gearbox issue. Nothing having to short shift. He's got the higher gears, maybe it's the lower gears he's missing. And it's the lower gears to what you go down into the special gear. Then he gets some good traction. Maybe it's probably the mid-range actually, I would say, is what's the problem with his car. When I can actually do anything to try and even come back at Charles Leclerc. No, he can't. Leclerc's just driving away from him. You're going to have to have a serious debrief with the team of what's going on. Hamilton was surefire for the win. He was so far in front, and now he's down into P3. It might even end up being P4, P5 by the end of the race if Toyota can't resolve whatever issue with the car. You see 3 other cars there on the same straight, and depending on how bad the issue gets, if it gets worse, then Hamilton could find himself way down the order. And moving a bit further on, looking back now, once again at Carlton Herta on those hard tyres. Hasn't fared too badly actually. He's about where he was still. Tinstrol was just a little bit further up the road, so he took a risk. It hasn't really worked out, but it hasn't really not worked either. So pretty much still been the as expected race. And now we got Norris who doing battle then with Robbie Kubica in the Williams, and the McLaren makes a move there past their fellow British outfit, and they're both been in follow time. So the between these two, still going to be pretty fast, even though they have been at different ends of the grid now for a few years. But now then we've got Kubica still trying to keep it on the inside line here, but now it's going to try and hold it around the outside line. Going to run completely around the outside line there, Parabolica. Now it's going to be a drag now. It depends which of these two's got DRS. There's Kubica there then with the DRS, but Norris with the good run putting it through. There goes Conor with a double clinching with double toe to make it 3 wide. Coming down now into turn 1. This is not going to end well, surely. For someone, 3 wide is not meant to be done here in turn 1. There's a height around the outside line, and Kubica can squeeze out Conor. It's a nice driving there from Kubica, showing the experience of the pole. And showing why he could have been a world champion in 2008 and was in the championship fight in 2018 as well. But still, he's holding it out. Actually, now comes Conor trying to go around the outside line of Kubica. Intersection, getting a bit of a lock up there from the pulse, feeling the pressure, feeling the presence of the American. Wants to make his presence felt. If he wants to possibly even replace Kubica at Williams for next season, wants to make that progression through the ranks of the BMW Junior team into the main Williams team. So Kubica still trying to into previous dominance, holding around the outside line. Then there's a little bit of contact there made between the two of them. That's going to be the drag race now. Kubica hasn't got DRS, but that's going to be surely a move here for the Cohen-Herter. Now into a Scar. There's a bit of battling going on there behind. The Toro Rosso out of nowhere on the inside line, 3 wide into a Scar as well. Sparks flying there, a bit of contact made. And Kubica somehow holds it in front. And then we've got Gasly who makes the move there on Cohen-Herter. Now Norris is finding himself at the back of that train. Is this the fight to not be in last place? I'm not seeing any cars behind. I think these guys are all fighting over the wooden spoon, so yeah, something's not going right for Robert Kubica. I don't know where Schumi is, unless he's even further back. But now on to lap 27, the final lap of the race. We're still in the lead. Hamilton is not even on the podium anymore. We've got Leclerc in second, and then it's Vettel in P3. But as it stands, it's an all-Italian team podium, an all-Ferrari powered podium. The Tifosi, I mean, of course they want Ferrari to win, but still it's going to be an Italian team that wins on home soil. But it's going to be the little team, the littlest of the teams, honestly, I think, even though we're doing better than Toro Rosso. They've got this final back straight to go down, as we've got the engine in Lee mix. We've used up all our extra fuel to pull away, and then we've got the ERS in low. So just keeping it nice and easy for these final laps. No need to push, because there's no point having a massive lead if you're not going to use it up. And now then, round Parabolica, and coming up now to the finish line, you're going to weave up to the line. The checkered flag waves, and we win the Italian Grand Prix. A second race win of the 2019 season, the second victory of the season for Alfa Romeo, and this time it's under legitimate circumstances. The low drag setup, the straight line speed of this car, absolutely phenomenal, and it's a win, of course. More importantly, it's the win on the home soil for the Alfa Romeo outfit, because from what Sauber were, we now become Alfa Romeo, and we take our second victory of the season. If you told me the season I'd get 2 victories and one of them would be at home, I would not have believed it. I thought you'd been on something, smoking something good. And then we've got Lawrence Stroll, P14. Good race search from Stroll, some good pace, but not quite making the points. But now then, onto the podium celebrations, an all-Italian team podium. The Tifosi, they've got both cars on the podium, and they've got an Italian car that won the race. And they're all powered by Ferrari. It's been a good day to be an Italian Formula 1 fan. Now I'm going to spray the champagne onto the crowd below. I'll spray it onto Charles Leclerc as well. And you've got Vettel as well, so you've got two stars this feature and also one of the present as well. And it's been a great race all round for the Italian teams anyway. Well, 2 in red, and I've got a car that's ready if that counts. Taking a look at the race results, and we take the win and the point for fastest lap. Get a home win for Alfa Romeo. Just under 3 seconds clear of Charles Leclerc, with Vettel in P3. Hamilton finished 4th at least, so could have been worse, but still, Hamilton really should have won that race. And teammate Kobayashi finishes in P5. Daniel Kvyat lead Mercedes in 6th. And then Verstappen as the leader of the Red Bulls, who managed to beat in the end George Russell. Then come the 2 runners, 9th and 10th, Verne ahead of Hulkenberg. With Haryanto in 11th. And Giovinazzi gets a point on the board, another point on the board, his home race to finish in 12th. Mick Schumacher, P13. No points for either Williams, and the championship leader, that's going to massively dent his championship lead. But he can take some comfort at least in knowing that Hamilton didn't take the maximum points available to him. And we've got Stroll in 14th place ahead of Pierre Gasly, with Robert Kubica finishing where he started in 16th ahead of Nico Kari and Lando Norris. The Colin Herta unfortunately in the end finishing in 19th place and last of the finishes, with Alex Albon being the only retirement from the race. Moving on now to the point standings, and Schumi still leads the way, but he's now only 6 points clear of Lewis Hamilton. If Lewis had won the race, he deserved the championship now. We've got Daniel Kvyat in P3. He's gained points, but he's still, with only 6 races left, still quite some way off, 34 points. Then we've got Charles Leclerc still in 4th place, where he's been for a very long time. And now we're in P5, 97 points. In an Alfa Romeo, in the 7th worst car. 2 wins in the bag. And a podium of Singapore as well. Then we've got Verstappen down now into 6th place. He's overtaken the Dutchman. And George Russell in the process as well. Then we've got Kubica, no points for him, stayed in 8th place. And Vettel once again swaps places with Kobayashi. He's 1 point clear now of the Japanese driver. Pierre Gasly in 11th and Lando Norris running off the top 12. Hawks 13th on 22, 6 points clear of Ria Haryanto. With Alex Albon now down to 15th place on 13, 2 points clear of Matsushita. And then comes to Haas drivers of Colin Herta and Lawrence Stroll, ahead then of Nico Kari. And Jean-Luc Vergne gets his first points back on the board and is ahead of Giovinazzi by virtue of better result. And finally now moving on to the constructors standings, and Williams still lead the way, but the lead's been slashed now, only 11 point lead now over Toyota. And Mercedes in 3rd, only a further 7 points back, so still a 3-way fight in both championships honestly, but the constructors definitely the closer of the two. Then we've got Ferrari still in 4th place, still got quite a gap as well over Red Bull, who are 5th. And now we're only 40 points behind. We could jump Red Bull if we can get some good results now. I think that's it, saying that. P5 ahead of the, with only the established teams, it seems, in front of us, so yeah, to beat one of the other top teams as well, that would be an accomplishment. And we're looking ever safer now in front of McLaren, who are in 7th. And Renault now get themselves back up into 8th place, so they get themselves back ahead of Haas and Toro Rosso, so they're back where they were, but they're definitely a lot further behind. So they could have definitely been in the fight for 7th place if they hadn't have lost their points earlier on. And we've got Haas and 1 point clear still of Toro Rosso. That's been the Italian Grand Prix. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Also check out the wiki for this season, that'll be linked in the description. So we'll keep you up to date on the news with this season. Past seasons, you'll have a look back at what's happened in the past. All the teams, all the drivers to ever race in this series are all listed there with their own pages and that as well, if you fancy a massive read. Also, if you give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram, that'd be much appreciated. They'll be linked in the description as well. So if you enjoyed, leave a like on this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out any of the future videos. Also, if you got this game on PC, you can download the 5 modded liveries that I use. They'll be linked down there as well. So that's the blue Williams Rocky livery, the BWT livery on the Toyota, which is actually the Racing Point car, the Merc 125-year livery for the white nose, the S2V Esports livery on my Alfa Romeo, and the White Bikes Haas livery. I will link down in the bottom description. Make you want to download and use them yourself so you can. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.